What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. And here with my co-host, my guy, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, Spreader Staff?
Man, I'm loving the schedule right now. I got tennis all morning. I get a nice break in the afternoon, and then the NBA playoff. We're on the West Coast, right? It starts at 4
Yeah,
p.m. What a
yeah,
great time. I get to have dinner at halftime. I mean, I'm just loving the way the
yeah.
sports world is set up right now.
I told one of my oldest and dearest clients this morning, ain't nothing like waking up the money, man. We had a
Yeah.
good tennis morning, man. My girl Sabalenka, she always gonna push it to 3, but
You know what?
she
I
got there
almost
though.
played Contivite, and then I said, nope.
No way, no way. You can't get so. I think there's like 5-0 she has against
Contivite
her.
had won 22 matches indoors in a row, though, going into that match. So it
She
was a
just
4-0 head-to-head
Sabalenka
versus
has a mental
22.
edge on her.
Yeah,
Sabalenka
she
just
does.
has the mental edge on her.
5-0 now. I didn't bet that
Yeah,
one. You know who I had? I had Bedosa this morning.
I had her as well.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I woke up to some money. Thank God that she won. But I
I
saw
got
the
up
3
early.
sets. You watched
But
this?
here's
Did you watch it?
I woke up, I watched the first set, right? Because I was up early. And
Uh,
then I go to take a shower, have my coffee. I come back, she already lost the second set. And it was like 20 minutes. I'm like, wait,
right.
what?
That's how she does though. She's gonna
She
win in
don't was
3.
she fall behind? Yeah. She's just
Yeah,
like, okay, next set. I'm not
yeah.
wasting no energy.
Her and Sabalenka both are the same. They don't even like go take a toilet break. They just go
Yeah.
right back up. Just like, come on, let's go. We know we're going
Yeah.
3 sets, but we're gonna win the match. We had a decent day yesterday, man. We went 2-1 on the yesterday's news. Let's get into your winner, man. Great pick with the Golden State Warriors. They're looking pretty good, man. Ski's future prop is looking amazing. I texted and told him, man, your prop is
Yeah.
looking wonderful. He's gonna at least hit that 4-0 or 4-1 on the Nuggets series that he bet. So he's going to definitely get a win on that one. And he's looking good for them winning the West now with the injury to Booker, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how long Booker's out. I mean, I think if they do meet, right, because that'd be conference finals, Booker would probably be back by then. So it's just if the Suns get knocked out before then, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. And man, um, what a way this team is performing on offense when they go to that ultra small lineup. But you know what the key is in there to me? That they're still able to get rebounds,
Yeah,
right? Like Andrew Wiggins was boxing out Jokic, right? That was huge.
right.
Um, you know, uh, they were in there still getting the boards because that's how you're going to beat that lineup, right? I mean, you got Draymond and Wiggins as your tallest guys on the floor. You should be able to crush them on the glass. The fact that they were still able to corral like enough defensive rebounds to stick with it and then just outscore them. And man, like I know you and I are different on Jokic, man. I just look at that team without him. They look like that Philadelphia team that won like 9 games. That team is
Right.
so bad.
They
So
were shooting air balls in the fourth quarter, like Barton and what's the other kid name used to Morris.
Monty
They were
Morris,
shooting,
yeah.
man. They were
Those
shooting
guys are
air
all
balls.
cool basketball players, but they should be coming off the bench. They
It's
should be
amazing
getting
how good look. It's amazing how good they look coming off the bench compared to when they have to get a lot of minutes to start. Right?
yeah, I mean they got this 10 to 15 minutes where they can be effective. One thing I'll give Nuggets credit for though, they didn't give up and they did a great job being active in the passing lanes. And if it wasn't for that activity on defense, they would have lost by 20 because they can't keep up shooting.
Yeah.
So anyways,
They
it was
somewhat
nice to get
gave
the
up.
win.
They gave up a little bit because I don't understand why you down 5 with 23 seconds left and you don't foul. That kind of made me
Oh
think
yeah,
they
at that
kind of
point,
waved.
23 seconds left. But
They
I'm talking
waved the
about
white flag a little quick.
they could have folded in the second or third, right? And they fought
Uh,
back. They fought
I
back.
guess Malone's taking the 48 laws of power approach where he said it's better to surrender than accept defeat because because
I,
they didn't
I
push
don't I
at
don't
all
care
the
about
last 30
fouling down
seconds.
5. I mean, they were going to lose no matter what. They gave their all. It didn't come through. This team needs some major changes because they've hitched their wagons to 2 guys that I don't really know how that's going to go. They might need to give up assets in order to get off that MPJ contract.
Yeah,
You send out
yeah,
a first and you send it to someone like Sacramento or somewhere that would be like, oh, well, maybe he'll be good for us, you
right.
know, and then you start all over and you got to build around that guy quick because, you know, it's just a waste seeing him out there with those guys. That team is so terrible without him.
Yeah, and he's not helping at all with his little attitude. That's why I used to always tell people Jamal Murray's always been the leader of that team. Jokic is a great player. He gives his effort and shows his leadership by his play, but he's not. He doesn't take too kindly to nonsense. He's very you know, that type of guy. He's kind of standoffish. He doesn't like to lose. You know, he doesn't like when his players aren't giving him any effort and playing well as well. And he might not say it, but you could tell it all in his body language. That's why Jamal Murray was good for that team, because he was so clutch, man. That's the one guy he know that when he gets doubled and got a kick, that it's money in the bank when it counted. You know, in the big games, in the clutch fourth quarter, Jamal Murray always was the top option on that team. And Jokic played off of him, and he got a lot of his baskets, winning plays on offensive rebounds and things like that, and more passes and stuff at the end of the game. But I'll be interested next year. I think they'll still be a very formidable team next year when they get back healthy. I'm sure that they're not going to change much. All they need to do is bring in Jamal Murray. But it's going to be sad, man. They're looking to get swept for the second straight year in a row with Jokic as the MVP 2 years and getting swept.
But I could argue he's still the MVP because they won, what, 44 games? So what's 44 minus 9? He's worth 35 games to that team.
I just think
that team's so bad. They shouldn't be in the playoffs. They shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's not a playoff team. It's a playoff player and a bunch of, I mean,
that's true.
They're relying on Austin Rivers. Did he get cut by his own dad? I mean, this is not the greatest collection of talent here.
You can't. Hey, but Doc is kind of merciless. He
cut his own kid.
He traded his son-in-law and cut his son. He doesn't care. So I don't know if that's a good example. All right, let's get to my games, man. I gave you guys 2 games. Utah. Oh my goodness. You talk about 1, 2, 3 Cancun. I think they're getting ready to go home. The Utah just don't have any type of I don't know what's going on in the locker room this year. There's something wrong, man. Something's missing. It's not the team that we saw a couple years ago. They don't cover the first half and they don't win the game. I expected Dallas to push late and to make it a contest, but I didn't expect them to do that. They led pretty much from wire to wire. I think Utah may have tied it one time in the beginning of the fourth, but Dallas played unbelievable, man. Once again, like I told you a little bit earlier in the week, Jason Kidd is having his way with Quinn Snyder. I don't know if Quinn Snyder knows that he's a lame duck coach or if he's trying to do all he can to get himself up out of there this year. But, man, it's so many open shooters for Dallas. He's killing them with the small lineup. He's making where Rudy Gobert can't even play in the game. And the same type of situation with the Warriors, they're still able to rebound with Gobert in the game, with everybody on the court for them maybe 6, 8 and under, you know. And they're not the only difference. They already had the 3-point shots available on the first game. They just missed them. And these 2 games they made them. They really made them last game. And how about my guy Brunson? Keep telling you guys, man, Brunson is the next deal, man. He just needs the ball in his hand. He's not going to have it in his hand a lot when Luka comes back and as they go on in the future seasons. So I see Brunson getting up out of there, man. He got to go get his own team. Yeah, he got to leave, man. He got to go get his own team, man. He's stopping himself from becoming an all-star if he stays there, because he's not going to get the ball. He's going to get the ball in the wrong positions playing off ball. He needs the ball in his hand. He's been a point guard his whole life, man. And he's a great player, man. The way he stepped up. I saw the number before the game to show these books really know what they're talking about. He was 28.5 for points yesterday. And I looked at that and I was like, wow, that's kind of high for Brunson. He flew over it, you know. That kid has been balling, man. I'm really, really, really thrilled with the way he's looking. And Utah, hey, man, get ready to go home, because I don't see you guys overcoming this series, man. They don't look good at all. They can't match up when Dallas goes small. Bogdanovic did do his thing, though. And I had to correct you too, Spread. Yesterday you said he's from Serbia. That's the one from the Hawks that's from Serbia. This kid's from Croatia.
Oh, excuse me, my bad. Yeah,
you're right.
It's the guy that was
get them mixed up. Their names almost are identical. Yeah. First name, last name, and everything. But so we won't forget this one now. You guys, the one from the Falcons, pardon me, the Hawks is from Serbia. And this Bogdanovic is from Croatia, man. Shout out Croatia, man, for producing one of the finest basketball players in the NBA to me, because he's paid me very well this playoffs, man. The efficiency of this guy, he went over to 20.5. He got to 24. He only shot 12 times. How does he get 12 shots, Spread? And you got Donovan Mitchell and Conley combining for 35 shots.
Let me jump in. I think you set it up for me. Donovan Mitchell's checked out, man. And he, for everyone who watches the box score, right, and it's just playing the fantasy, oh, Donovan Mitchell's badass. No, he's not. He's not distributing to his teammates.
Nope.
He's absolutely terrible on defense. There's no
He's
effort at
tanking,
all.
man. He's tanking.
But he's still getting his numbers.
Yeah, I'm
He's
talking
making
about
sure to get his
the
numbers.
game. He doesn't want to win the game. He doesn't want this.
He wants to split this whole thing up. I think he wants to go somewhere else. I think
He's trying to get to New York. He's a little spoiled kid. He's from upper Manhattan. His dad, like I told you before,
let him go play under Thibodeau. That might be
he
good
want to go
for him.
play with the Knicks, man. His dad is a big with the Mets organization, one of the suits with the Mets. So he grew up in Manhattan, man. He wanted to get back to New York. He wanted to shine for the Knicks. I'm sure he was a Knicks fan growing up.
It's not even right what's going on out there, because at this point in the season, you guys can't defend a corner three. Like, nobody knows. Everybody running at the same spot. I mean, it looked like a team in preseason.
It was ridiculous.
The Mavericks
man.
at one point had 4 to 5 open threes in a row every single possession.
It's
just like,
horrible.
these are NBA guys, dude. It looked like warm-ups. Shooting warm-ups.
And did you hear
think these guys are going to make it?
Did you hear Kid? Kid told
What'd he
them specifically. He said, if you get Mitchell, go at him.
Yeah, they were going right at him. So that to me, I'm just like, he thinks he's so tight. He thinks he's so good. The other coaches are telling you you're not, because they're saying you're the weakness on the team. And you got old Mike Conley out there, and they're attacking you instead of him. And Mike Conley's like 1/3 of the speed he used to be. Yeah, I'm not excited. And of course, I'm not ready to bury him, because I think a lot of it is effort, and he just doesn't care.
It's all effort, man.
He wants to get his 30, and he wants them to lose. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, because I could show you a couple of videos. They had him up on different Twitter sites and stuff where he was just doing Olay. He just was like backing up, just pretty much giving guys the whole lane, go layup, man, layup line. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Because I've seen you. The reason he was drafted was defense. Like, a lot of people don't remember that Donovan Mitchell was drafted as
when they were good. He was good out there.
He became a scorer. He was a defensive specialist at Louisville, man. He's a great defensive player when he's engaged and want to play.
It reminds me of Kyrie Irving, man, and Harden.
Yeah.
How they can, and it takes a lot to get him to do it, and you can just tell he's done.
Yeah.
Enough on the Jazz, man. What else from yesterday did you notice? Let's
get to the other game, man.
The Timberwolves.
Yeah. All you can do is laugh.
My buddy come over and we're talking
about Minnesota.
He said, "Yeah, I was out at the restaurant with my wife, when they blew the 20-point lead." And I'm like, "Which one?" Normally I would know what part of the game you're talking about. I don't even know what part of the game you're talking about.
Dude.
So
these dudes are exactly who I thought they were. I sat up there and really fell for it for a small moment in time and thought, hey, man, maybe Cat and Ant-Man's the best players of this series. These dudes are goof troops. They've always been goof troops. Anthony Edwards has a chance of growing, but unfortunately, he's around the wrong veterans with D'Angelo Russell and Cat in their locker room, man, and Beverly with all those antics and clown mess. Man, that stuff gets old fast. You know what Beverly's doing, man. If it's not successful, it turns into really a problem, So it's just, man, he just needs to be around a solid team.
They need to get rid of Cat and D'Lo.
Too bad for him that the Warriors he didn't slide to the Warriors. Remember, at one time we didn't know if he was going to go number one.
Oh,
he might was going to get to the. If he would have got to the Warriors, woo,
with Draymond.
Hey, man, if he would have got to the Warriors,
Draymond would have had him.
Because now he has another rebuilding process to go through for another 3-4 years, because they're gonna have to clean house with all of that junk that they have money invested.
I think they're like loyal to Cat for some reason. Maybe because it's Minnesota. I don't know, man.
I don't know why. They need to dislodge from him. I wouldn't want that guy.
He needs to be like the third option. He needs to be the third option on a championship team. I mean, it's just,
dude, you were talking about the big man camp. He has all these skills, but they're all skills of a guard. He needs to go to the big man camp, because he looks horrible when they give him the ball. He just wants the ball at the elbow to just run over you. Man, in the playoffs, that's a charge every time. Yeah, you get away with that in the regular season. Some refs playing lazy. People aren't playing as hard. Their feet might didn't get there in time, so you get an and one. That cannot be your go-to move. I catch the ball at the elbow and just run over you to the goal. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like, dude, you don't have a hook to either hand. You have no footwork. You always looking like you're stumbling and falling down. Like,
and he got this face like he's losing the whole time. He's always flustered. He's always bewildered.
Did you hear the interview afterwards?
No. Yeah,
If
do
you
I
hear
want to know?
this interview spread, you know they asked him, how do you get over something like this, a loss like this? Do you know that guy said you go home, decompress, have a glass of wine? They said have a glass of wine. He said, yes, there's nothing you can do about it. I said, this dude, what is wrong with you? At least have enough sense to lie to tell them, like, we're going to, make up the little jargon talk. Just come with some little jargon real quick. He said, I'm just going home and drink a glass of wine.
Yeah, man. I've I'm sitting there like, oh, these Timberwolves are pretty good, man. And just
they fooled us.
Yeah.
They're about to lose 4-1. They're about to lose 4-1 because Memphis is.
I don't think you come back from that, huh?
No,
it's hard to show up in the locker room and be serious.
That fourth quarter by Memphis was a championship fourth quarter. Shout out Ja Morant. You do a lot of talking, but you back it up, son. Ja Morant has a lot of heart. That's one thing you can't question his heart and his will to win. He cares about winning more than stats. He'll lay it all out on the floor, man. So you got to give him that. And his team follows him. Desmond Bain, up and coming star. He's in a market where a lot of people don't see him. We've been watching him all year. The cat's strong as an ox, has a feathery shot, can hit threes, plays defense like a madman, rebounds. That kid was a steal out of TCU. He really popped, man. That shows you the best two teams right now. Who looked at the best last night. The best two teams last night were Memphis and Golden State. What do they have in common? Player development. Their player development is unbelievable. That kid for Stanford that plays for Memphis, I thought he was garbage. Yeah. I thought he was garbage.
They're gonna make him. They're gonna make him a rotation guy at least.
Dude, he is a baller. But in high school he was a baller. He had an injury, came to Stanford. He looked so passive.
Didn't he have attitude issues at Stanford? Or quit the team or something?
He was very passive, because he's a smart kid, obviously getting in Stanford. Probably the culture wasn't what he liked, He loves the culture in Memphis because that kid is playing, man. Everybody who comes off their bench contributes. I wouldn't care if it's DeAndre Melton, who's been cut, 4 or 5 times in the NBA journeyman. He's a baller with Memphis,
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks, he wasn't highly recruited coming out of Oregon. Look how he plays, man. He shows up, he plays defense, he gives effort. And all that has to go to that organization, man. Great organization, great job, player development. Now let's compare the player development with Golden State, who they haven't unleashed Jonathan Kuminga yet, as we know as real basketball fans.
Yeah.
Like, he's coming. He's coming too. They haven't even unleashed him. They probably have to trade Moody. Moody's good too. Moses Moody can play too. Their job of developing them and Memphis. Now let's compare to the Lakers. Let's look at all the Lakers draft picks and where are they right now. They're all in the playoffs and the Lakers are at home. You see what I mean? So it's very vital for these teams to understand that player development is the key to success and long-term success in the NBA. And the Warriors with the quickest rebuild ever. I'm hoping the Rockets can follow suit and we're right back contending in a couple years because our rebuild is looking pretty good too. Let's get to the ball and parlay, but first let's stop by the third game that we're not going to be having a wager on, and talk briefly about it real quick for the people since we won't be here through the weekend.
All right, and I don't love this game, but forced to make a pick, I would take the Bucks. And it's tough because you look at the video of the first 2 games. The Bulls covered the first game. They look great getting the win in the second game. And no Chris Middleton. You say, okay, this video, these last 2 games, they've shown me that the Chicago's the right side here. But you go through the whole season. I made so much money fading Chicago against good teams this year. I think Giannis has a huge bounce back night. He's kind of that X factor where he's completely untouchable. And, DeRozan went for 41. Of course, he could do it again, but felt like they really peaked. There is some room for them to regress to the mean as well. So I like Milwaukee here, but it's definitely not my favorite play of the 3 games.
And we're on opposite sides on that one because I just feel like the Caruso factor with him being healthy and Patrick Williams also getting healthy, that those were 2 guys that they were missing regular rotation all year. I trust Billy Donovan and what he's able to do, man. And then you have DeRozan and Levine is kind of like the forgotten man right now, but Levine is a baller, as you know, and he has the ability. He hit some major shots in the 4th quarter.
And he's looking good again. He's gonna have to get surgery, I'm pretty sure, at the end of the year. But he was looking pretty fast in both those games. Knee looking good.
They're shooting him up, but he's getting a little bit better. Yeah, he won't be the same. But the main thing is, you already know, Levine is he can get into his baby Kobe mode, which means when he gets that elbow squared up, he's fading away, hitting jumpers and that money from wherever, as long as he gets his eyes on the basket and can see the rim. So that game there we differ on. I'd be leaning toward the Bulls, but neither one of us are making a play on it. I just think that the Chicago atmosphere tonight is going to be crazy. I think that the Bulls are a little bit different team in the playoffs from what I've seen. They've been consistently playing good. Like the first game they played well, the second game they played well. They look like a different team than they were looking at the end of the regular season, man, and looking more like the team they were at the beginning of the year when they were really a factor in the East. So that game I'm a little afraid of because Chris Middleton means a lot to me when it comes to the Bucks. He's the one guy that they know they can just throw the ball to and get a basket. Even with Giannis, it could be a charge depending on if the ref decides to call it that way, because that's pretty much his move is, lowering his shoulder, getting himself to the rim. And then also when he gets fouled, he's not an excellent free throw shooter, so he can miss free throws too as well. So I'll be interested to see how that goes tonight, but I'd be leaning towards Chicago, and my guy likes Milwaukee on it. Let's get to the ball and parlay and get these guys 2 more wins with 7-3 now. For the week, so we guaranteed a 14 straight winning week, man. So we're gonna be aiming for 15 next week. This is the only show that's doing that, man. 15 minutes of sports betting with the best information, the best free plays. What you got today for the bottom parlay?
All right, man. Yesterday, the road teams, they were awesome, but I expect a little bit of home cooking tonight here. Taking the Atlanta Hawks. Miami Heat, man, they look so good in those first 2 games. But we have a Hawks team that was 27-14 at home, 16-27 on the road this year. We see how much better this team is at home. And we've also seen in the playoffs, man, a lot of talk about this, right? These whistles can really change a game. They're going to get a real friendly whistle there tonight. And I think that's going to mean a lot for Trae Young. He's the guy, everyone likes to compare him to Steph. But number one, he doesn't move off the ball like Steph.
Nah.
And that's been a weakness here so far. So, if I go down, that's something they need to look into incorporating. But I think he's more like Harden, where he creates off the dribble, he gets to the line, and then that calms him down after he's made those free throws and watched it go in, got into the rhythm. Then he starts hitting those step back threes, launching from way behind the arc, So even though, I understand both comparisons, but to me, he's like Harden in the way that he needs to use drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, getting into rhythm to allow him to shoot better during the game. So I think that's going to be quite different. And as well, we always know, this isn't a big secret, right? How much better the role players play at home. I think this will be huge for Atlanta tonight because we got to say the guys around Trae have come up short. He hasn't had the best performance, but his guys haven't been bailing him out either. So this is supposed to be a team. It's not just Trae Young or bust here. I expect to see more of a team tonight. Give me the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, and as you said, Trae's been like that since Oklahoma. I've followed Trae since we played with the Soon the same way. Get a little contact, get to the free throw line, see a couple go through, you were right on the nail. After that, those threes are falling like raindrops, So, he'll get a little home cooking tonight. He does need some help from the others. John Collins is starting to slowly but surely look kind of like, at least 80% of his old self, not the dominant John Collins that we saw last year in the playoffs, but he's definitely going to be able to contribute tonight. So I do like that bet with you. And I'm going to go with a road dog myself too. I'm going with the Pelicans. I think they're going to be fired up in my home state tonight, man. They're going to be fired up in Louisiana, man. First playoff game there forever. I really, really, really like Willie Green and the coaching that he does. No Booker tonight. I know people say the Suns have played a lot of games without Booker. They haven't played a playoff game. without Booker. If you look over the last contest when they played the Pelicans, each time that they won, Booker went off. You know, he went for 20 plus points in all of those games. Those points are going to have to be replaced. The only way I see the Suns winning this game is if they get up early by a big lead, and after that, rely on their defense. I can't see them being able to run the whole game with them and keep up with the type of level that the Pelicans are playing on right now offensively with McCallum and Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram has become the leader of this team. I just was seeing some quotes by different players like Larry Nance and how they speak about, hey, they tell BI this is your team. So it's like they're in a great position right now. Young leadership, young coach, everybody's on the same page. You see those guys love each other. You can tell them about the energy on their bench that they really enjoy each other, man. And hey, where would they be if they could have Zion healthy? Well, they could get an easy 25 every night, and how many extra possessions from him, you know, being in the game. So they got a bright future if they can keep their hands on Zion and get him to, you know, buy into what they're doing. The Suns are 0-4 against the spread, and their last 4 is road favorites, even with Devin Booker. And another interesting stat, me being a Louisiana boy, I grew up in Houston, but my whole family's from Louisiana. I was in Louisiana through grade school, middle school, most of high school. And Friday nights in Louisiana is something special. I don't know why, but Friday nights are just the night in Louisiana. And the Pelicans are 11-2 against the spread on Friday night games. So I expect the night to be a Pelicans type of night. And then we got one more great factor going in our favor, spread. 71% of the public is on Phoenix tonight. So we're going to jump in on that 29% and ride with that +2 with the old books and ride with Vegas, man, and see if we can get an upset. I'll be playing the Pelicans money line as well. I'm sure that spread will be playing the Hawks money line as well too. But we're telling you for the free play to take the short points. You never know what can happen. Might miss a free throw, might have a buzzer beater. Take those points for insurance, and that'll get us locked in for another winning week. We'll be 14 straight and going for 15 next week. Anything for the people spread before we get out here for the week?
Man, I'm excited for more NBA basketball this weekend. Looking forward to be back talking to you about it on Monday.
All right, we got some USFL too. We'll
send me those plays.
Yeah, I'll send it to you tonight, man. We got a USFL game tonight. We got the Michigan Panthers and the Generals, and then this weekend we got some more. You know, we'll be looking to fade those Pittsburgh Maulers. That's going to be our thing. And you guys do as well. We're going to fade those Pittsburgh Maulers to the bank, man. All right, man. We really enjoyed you guys tuning in with us. Once again, you can find us both on Twitter. He's at Spread Astaire. I'm at 5-Star in Vegas. Spell out the 5. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. His is Spread Astaire. Mine is 5-Star in Vegas Sports Investments. Please subscribe to SCOON TV. We're on here Monday through Friday. We got big things coming. Actually, Big SCOON is going to drop in with us next Friday and help us with a little boxing kind of preview the Shakur fight. And I look forward to talking to the CEO and founder of SCOON TV. We're out of here, man. We appreciate you guys. Best of luck to you all.